Now I've got nothing else to look at. What's up, guys? It's me, BUFPV. And I've got a special treat for you guys in a video that nobody asked for. I am going to go over the 3 flight controller systems I use. I use 3. I have a lot of quads. We're using the Bandolero. I'm going over FlightOne, Flyduino, and Emuflight. And those are the 3 flight controller systems I use on a flight daily basis. I do use all 3. I do fly all 3 of them. I don't want to take too much of your time. It's going to be a long video. I have links in the description if you want to jump ahead to a certain flight controller system and see what I think about that. So that'll be in the description, timestamp links. So let's get started. All right, so these are the quads I'll be using. This is running the FlightOne Revault OSD Lite, the Corey Tapp labeled one. This is running the Helio Spring all-in-one. And this one is running KISS, the KISS V2 flight controller with the 32-bit, 32-amp on-arm ESCs. This one is running a 50-amp 4-in-1 BL Heli 32 ESC by Luminaire, and this one is running the DYS Aria. It's a 45-amp, I think. Both of these ESCs have the same cutoff limit, which is 50 amps. I think this is actually a 45-amp ESC, but they're calling it a 50-amp because it's got a limit of 50. So that being said, things are pretty much the same. Everything is BL Heli 32. This is running D-Shot 2400 because it's KISS and it can. Both of these are running the recommended D-Shot for the setup. Hype Train Acros, the 2207, 2450 KVs on all 3 quads. We're all running the Ethics S5 props. And let's get started, because I'm tired of talking and sitting in this chair and looking at the wrong screen and not looking at you guys. Alright, so I'll tell you something right off the rip. FlightOne I'm using the I'm gonna start going that trick. I'm bored with it. The rates system on FlightOne I like a little bit better now. I like the way the quad flips and rolls. The throttle control is really good. Let's try to get through our little bench here. Not too much trouble. Let's try a power loop. Nope. Didn't work. That trick right there is getting on my nerves. I'm gonna stop doing it. Bouncy bounce. It's a little easier to get shaky sticks because it feels like there's a lot more resolution in sticks. All in all, FlightOne's feels a little tighter. Maybe it's because it comes from a racing
a racing system, but it does feel a lot like if you got shaky sticks, you're gonna have some issues. So yeah, that's FlightOne. It's pretty good. I like it. Let's move on to KISS. Slash some KISS. And look, it's already on race 8. Oh, make sure we do the shot. To turn my goggle fan on. It's hot out here. Okay. Alright, so I could tell off the rip this. I mean, it's good. KISS is good. Like, there's no doubt about it. Okay, this is a good flight controller system. It's got smoothness. It's got precision and control. Like, I wouldn't even try that with FlightOne or Emuflight. It gives you a level of confidence in your quad that's just like unparalleled. Problem is, it's missing all the regular features a Betaflight or Emuflight has. One of the most important features, there's no onboard OSD. Now, Impulse RC makes an OSD for the board. It's doing split S's and spins. That was ugly. So yes, Impulse RC I think makes an OSD that you can put in between your flight controller and the camera and the receiver so that you can control it and stuff. But like, come on, man. And there are also other idiosyncrasies with KISS you think something this expensive would have. Right? So the mounting hole system is off by like a millimeter. So you got to sand it down to get it to fit on your frame. Even the Mr. Steel Apex frame, right? You still have to grind out the holes to get the flight controller to fit right. The same problem is with the 4-in-1, the 25 amp 4-in-1. First off, why would you make a 25 amp 4-in-1 in the year, and this is the year of our Lord 2020, is beyond me, but they did. You can fly it on 5S and 6S. I flew on 5S with, I think I put a cap on it that took the cap off and it seemed fine. But again, the mounting holes on the 4-in-1 are wrong too. So you have to grind them out. And if you don't grind them out far enough, the 4-in-1 ends up too tight in the mount or in the quad, and whenever you smack the ground, you're going to break it. Like all the shock of the quad hitting the ground goes straight into the flight controller, and the piece will fall off, and it'll short out and fry on you. That's what I've heard is what the problem is, but mine fried on me. And it's an investment. That ESC cost me $110. $110, and it died. And I was like, you know what? I'm never buying another one. The on-arm ESCs are probably the best bet, but you got to have a frame that fits an ESC that huge. I mean, these are like freaking Simon K size fucking ESCs. They're freaking huge. And I don't know, it all amounts to, with the right frame and you being okay with there being no OSD built in, so you have to run an OSD on the camera or an OSD in your flight control or in your VTX or something. If you're okay with that and you only care about flight feel, then KISS all the way. You got some extra money in your pocket. But yeah, All right, let's move over to Emuflight now. All right, I got a fresh battery on here. These props are not super fresh, but they're not super damaged. So, and I turned the D's down. That brought the motor heat down a little bit. So let's try to get a full pack on this. Just kind of flip it around and get the feel for it. I think I got everything feeling right and working right, at least to the best of its ability with this flight controller system. So let's go ahead. Here we go. This is Emuflight full pack. Here we go. My butt hurts a little bit. All right, so you notice, like, I'm doing the same stick movement to get that kind of tick-tock, but the tick-tock is a little softer, right? It flips and rolls really well. The inputs are super smoothed out and buttery, as you might want them to be. Super buttery. The throttle is really nice. I mean, I flew butterfly for a long, long time. For that reason alone, you get some really nice, smooth footage. Let's try a bench trick. Come on, man. Actually, let's keep it. We have motors. I don't know what that may have done to the screen, but... Alright, you see how lazy that turn was? Alright, I made it though. I mean, some people, it looked awesome, but that's not what I intended, you know what I mean? I was trying to go a lot sharper. All right, so let's try something. I'm gonna stand over here. I'm gonna shake the pitch stick up and down rapidly, lightly. It feels like off throttle. Try that again. Flip. Like a lot. There's a lot lost there. It's pretty good. But once you get used to like, whoopee. It's an ugly landing. I think once I get used to how that smoothing works, it's really fun to fly. If I were final packing it, it's like the end of the day, and I had to get some good footage, I'd definitely rock this quad because I know the lines already. I wouldn't be worrying too much about like, oh God, I'm gonna mess up. I'd know the line and just flow really smooth, and it would come out dope. So yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with any of these flight controller systems, is what I'm trying to say. They all got their strengths and weaknesses. I think FlightOne is definitely more resolution and more tighter. Some people might say over tight. It's good. All of them are good. Emuflight, super smooth. Raceflight, super precise. KISS, both. KISS is both. KISS is both precise and smooth. It's not as smooth as Emuflight. It's not overly precise like FlightOne. It sits somewhere in the middle, and the only issue is that it costs a lot of money, and it doesn't have the feature set you would expect for the amount of money that you're paying for it. And that's gonna be it, guys. I'm gonna go and go home, get some food, eat, maybe go out later tonight, fly. We'll go back to the bench and we'll talk about this some more.
What's up, guys? Thanks for making it this far. And that was the flight and me talking over the flight and talking about why I use what I use, kind of. I wanted to go a little bit more in depth about that right here. So, I use different flight controllers for different situations or different ways that I can fly that day. I would like to say that I choose, I'm going to fly like this today. But some days, it's like, I just can't do something. I'm like, I can't fly smooth. I just got to go nuts. Or I can't, like, try something crazy right now. I just got to get around and do some flips and rolls and try to get some crazy angles and stuff. So, basically, my application is this. For Emuflight, I use that when I want to get, like, a nice flowy run where I can't do anything crazy. And I just want to focus on flowing and getting cool lines and doing some flips and rolls through stuff and just being smooth. And for FlightOne, I use that when I want to get like freaking nuts, like, or I've flown the other two and they're pissing me off. So I go to FlightOne because it will allow me to go berserk. Like I could just do things that you're not really not supposed to do with the quad, but like, I don't know, I can flip and roll and at angles and come out backwards and do all that kind of stuff, and the quad is going to listen, like, and it's going to do whatever I commanded it to do, even though it may look absolutely terrible. At least the stick input did what I wanted it to do. So for FlightOne, I like to do, like, when I try to do like just crazy stuff and like flat ground and flip through gaps and do rolls and flips and flips and flips into a roll, the backwards, the backflip, front 360, this way 360, then roll out backwards and do crazy stuff like that. I use FlightOne. For KISS is when I like, when everyone's like, oh, we gotta hit this gap, I pull the KISS quad out because I have the most confidence in what that quad's gonna do. Like, you can't really explain it until you've flown it. You have control. You feel like you have control. You control and confidence. And it's weird because FlightOne is super precise. Like, I feel as though I should be able to do that with FlightOne, but sometimes the inputs are so fidgety that you don't want to try that crazy stuff with FlightOne. And sometimes the tolerances of the thing that you're trying to do are so tight, you don't want the amount of smoothing that Emuflight has. So I turn to my KISS quad, which is a great balance between both. Like, I feel like I have the utmost amount of control, and I can put it wherever I want to put it. Oh, and one more fact: if you buy all three of these flight controllers, you try them out, and you don't like one or two, Emuflight flashes on everything. Like, you could put Emuflight on anything. Like, and it supposedly, I haven't tried it yet, but supposedly it should fly the same as any other flight controller system. So Emuflight has that above the most of the other systems. The other systems are very closed. You can only put FlightOne software on FlightOne hardware. You can only put KISS hardware on KISS approved hardware, as opposed to Emuflight, which will go on anything. The benefit of just the coding benefit of FlightOne is Falco X. Falco X is probably, to me, the most innovative thing in flight controllers that I've seen to date. And basically, you could do all the things that you do on your setup on the computer in the OSD on the quad. So gone are the days where you think you got everything set up right, you put your quad on the ground, you're like, yeah, man, let's go fly, we're gonna rip. You arm your quad up and it goes, bah! No. I mean, it might happen because you might set it up wrong, but you don't have to pull that quad, go find your laptop, hope that it's charged, hope that you can remember the CLI commands from the Josh Bardwell video to remap your motors. No more of that. That is all gone. Falco X has a UI for that. You just point the sticks in the direction of the motor that's moving. Boop. And it fixes all that for you. It's so good. It's so good. You could do motor direction in the OSD. KISS's benefit as a computing system is that it's a closed system. It's expensive, but whatever they're doing it right, and they know that, so they're not going to change it. The only issue I have is that there is no OSD, like I mentioned before. There's no built-in OSD. The OSD that you want to, the OSD that you need to add is an extra $40 on top of all the freaking really expensive parts that are in there. I mean, $25 ESCs. It's like $100 for the ESCs, and then $25 is if you find them on the cheap end. The flight controller is like what, $58, 78 cents. It's a lot of money. The 5-in-1 is $110 because basically what they're saying is it's 4 ESCs on a thing. You're going to pay full price for all 4 of those ESCs on the yeah. And with no OSD, you're like It's a hard sell, but it's good. So if you do have it, you're not going to be mad that you bought it. It's a great flight controller system. It just doesn't have what everybody else got in terms of fluff, which I wouldn't call fluff. I'd call a necessity because onboard OSD is kind of a thing now. Like, anyways, I'm gonna stop complaining about it because I love flying that quad. I love flying my KISS quad. It flies beautifully and it's great, perfectly suited for the things the applications I put it into. Anyways, I don't want to make this too long, but yeah, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will catch you in the next one. Please like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what flight controller system you guys really like, and put that down in the comments, and we can talk about it. I have a Discord, but our Discord is usually for local guys. I may create another Discord if you guys want to just talk about stuff, or I could, just invite me to whatever Discord you're on. We can talk about it there. Doesn't matter to me. Yeah, so that's it. See you guys in the next one. Skadooses.